I have a poem that I have: to seek the cause of fair renown, to love the game beyond the prize, to honour while you strike him down, the foe that comes with fearless eyes. That's why I feel about Japanese.
Right.
I hate them to the death, but you can't help but admire their courage and tenacity to do things. The Packer Card Bridge, God almighty, fell down 3 times and we built it again. I don't know who you give the credit for that. We built it.
How did you become a prisoner of war? Where were you captured?
Singapore, the British surrendered.
That's right.
We could have fought on there, they were bloody pommies. They shouldn't have thrown us in. I mean,
And what was your role?
I was infantry. We were all infantry on the island. I had 9 days fighting. I had 1 night out of the front line. And I couldn't see. I couldn't walk at the death. I was so exhausted and worn out. And we had bayonet charges repeatedly. And they said, oh, no bayonet charges in the war. But I mean, you hear second line people talking. And the men that marched on Anzac Day, they were never there. 90% of them. I never marched on Anzac Day.
Do you belong to an RSL club?
Yes, for the advantage I get from them. But I do not march to go and say how many people I killed.
Yeah.
It's one thing that I had to go to a psychiatrist the other day, just last week. I would never admit I killed people, and it got to me. The only thing that got to me, I could stand everything else closed up in mine, so closed up I had to crawl for 300 yards and sweat all day from heat and air pumped in, and claustrophobia. I'm having trouble sleeping now. I managed to get right through to now. I would never admit I killed men, see, and unfortunately that has kicked back on me. I admitted everything else, everything, I'd faced it. But I'm supposed to say that to people. Who do you say that to? I had a fellow on tanks down with a machine gun, firing at Indians down. And I was from here to that bush away from him. I was in the bush. And I blew him through the head and blew half his head off. And the bullet went through the tank and the water shot out. Like I can still remember that. But I wouldn't admit it to me.
Yeah.
I had to fight against it because I didn't. When you're 21, you don't want to. You didn't go there to kill people, even though they were the enemy. I don't say I was a coward, but it's not what I have in my life or an Australian wants to do, I don't think, unless he's a big mug there. I wasn't afraid to kill him. He was machine gunning the Indians. I couldn't let him do that. And I shot the 3 of them like off the machine gun. I was only 20 yards from them. Couldn't miss. I was born in Western Queensland. I did FM 22 when I was 11.
So you went from Changi to the Burma Rail.
No, yeah.
And you spent
I spent the whole
time there.
The Burma Road.
You were there for a couple of years.
18 months. And then I took me to Japan.
Right.
If you had walked, you went to Japan to work at the gold mine.
After you finished the job.
Finished the road.
Over to Japan.
Anyone could walk and didn't have grey hair. I was 21 at that time. You went to Japan.
And what were you to do in Japan?
Coal mine. I'd never been in a coal mine or anything underground in my life because I come from far western Queensland where you can see 30 miles into a homestead where you turn off. I mean, God. To go down in a jammed place where they pumped air in, very difficult, it was impossible. 6,000 feet under Nagasaki Bay we were working. You can't get anything worse. Just couldn't have been more horrific to me. 3 days tuition, how you'd handle the work, and then you go on the mine. 3 changes, but you'd do a 4 overlaps. See, the Americans reckoned there was only people could get 36 hours out of the day, see.
The mine was next to the prisoner of war.
About 2 kilometres.
2 kilometres.
And then winter we'd walk through snow, barefooted.
And how long did you spend in that camp?
About 18 months. This is camp Kaju Danabunche, that's the Japanese number 17 camp.
And this is in Nagasaki, is it?
This is Omuta. It's just across the bay from Nagasaki, 30 kilometres from the atom bomb. This is the camp after they blew it down. 12 feet high with an electric wire along at about 8 feet. I often wondered whether it was alive till I see a Japanese touch of the bank and killed him.
And what kind of food did you get?
Rice and dog.
You were being attacked by Americans as well. Did they know that there was a POW camp
No,
there?
they just raided it. They raided. They were blowing up gas works. There's big gas works on the top of the mine, trying to blow the machinery that was pulling the coal out. Changi was nothing. Changi is a whole camp. I mean, compared with what Burma was. Oh, geez. You live by your wits in Burma. You scrounged everything. You didn't steal from your mates or your own people, but you stole from anyone. Unfortunately, even civilians that needed, you still had, if you wanted to live, you still stole from them. Going out at night through the barbed wire, which was a beheading offence, of course, But I mean, you lived with that for 3.5 years. Jenny, you didn't have much food with that, but you weren't flogged all the time. Like you were belted. In Japan, now they put me in charge of a group to take back to a camp, and we had to speak Japanese all the time, and march Japanese and drill in Japanese. They put me in charge of a group of men to take back, and if they didn't lift their knees hard enough, they'd run straight to me and hit me on the head, because I was marching the mob in. See, like Christ, you soon learn Japanese, you soon learn to teach other people to lift their legs up. See, I was injured, hadn't really had that arm cut off there in the mine. We had no anaesthetic, we had nothing. So the camp commandant, he was the greatest, saddest I've ever known. He came down to hear me scream, see. And the American doctor, he was a good American doctor. So they had to scrape it. Once you get coal dust and everything, it has to be scraped clean. They sewed it up with 14 stitches, see. But they had to scrape it first. And the commandant come down to hear the scream, see. I said, no bloody way in the world, you bastard. Will a Japanese hear me scream? So he said, the doctor said, grab that thing and hang on. I did. I never made a noise. Don't know how I did it. I got into a lot of trouble, but I bred in Western Queensland. I wasn't easily pushed around. The mad part was the war was over for 4 or 5 days, and we knew the war was over, but we didn't know how the war was over. Japanese planes were still flying. The guards were armed, but we knew it was over because when we didn't go down the mine, we just started to be cheeky. We knocked pick handles out and took the picks, the handles, and just marched past the guardhouse. And they killed us otherwise, but they never did anything. So we said, the war's got to be over, or they kill us, see. On the 19th, that's my birthday, 19th of August, they put us on parade. They gave the Emperor's speech that said the war wasn't going well with Japan and there would be no more fighting. They didn't say they surrendered.
You didn't even hear that the bomb in Hiroshima had been dropped?
No, we were closed in a camp.
And when the bomb in Nagasaki dropped a few days after that?
We saw it. Oh, yes, of course.
Did you know what you were looking at?
No, how would we know?
Yeah.
We just thought it was the naval base at Nagasaki had been hit with a direct hit. It blew the windows out and blew us over. The mushroom cloud went up, and we just thought it was ammunition. We were to be shot on the 16th. Says A-bomb saved 15,000 prisoners of war. We were all to be executed. They had the machine guns sighted round what they called our Tenko parade ground. So they'd machine gunners from 4 sides, see. And this Yamaguchi, this little fella here, brought out the thing and gleefully told Ian Duncan, the doctor, Captain Duncan, that we would be shot on the 16th. Well, see, the bomb was dropped to the 9th, saved us. Now when I lecture at schools and that, 15-year-old boys say to me, should the second bomb been dropped? I said, don't ask me because I'm biased. It saved my life. I left the camp that night and there were men armed all around me.
Yeah.
I got down to the 13, ready to go, and we all got together, see, 5 Americans and 2 Scotchmen. And we stuck together then right through. We traded a package of Chesterfields for an old truck. We had another Indian with us. He spoke Japanese very well, and we were glad to have him. And by sundown, we arrived at the American camp. The guard was sitting there with his tin hat off. He said, oh, the war's over, you know. He wasn't any guard. He said, God damn, he said, you fellas prisoners of war. He got on them lower, and from then, as I say in the book, we did nothing. We flew at about 100 feet over Nagasaki, and that's why I couldn't make out, ever since the war, Nagasaki, the streets were all clear. It must have been the blast. The buildings, 16 stories, just bent over, the steel just bent, and they touched the ground. The whole thing like that, like a bridge. The steel must have just lost all its power and it just bent.
What did you end up doing after the war?
We owned our property. We'd been there since 1887. My grandfather came from America and took up 600 square miles of country up there in those days. And my brother, I said, I'll go to the war and you handle the place. I retired at 59. I sold up. And I've been dealing in property ever since here. I didn't retire, actually.
How many children do you have and grandchildren?
3 and 5 grandsons.
Okay. Any great-grandchildren?
No.
Okay.